Hello, welcome back to the Triangle. TJ, David Huffman, Israel Rivera's not joining us today. He'll be back next week. So we're going to talk about a couple things. First, college basketball, because NIU basketball is balling right now. And we're going to talk about the NBA, and then we're going to talk about the playoffs in the NFL. We're going to first start with the NIU basketball. Man, they are long ways from where they were when I first started going here as a student, when they made like the 2 baskets in the half that one game.
That was my freshman year too.
Yeah. This is incredible. Like Mark Montgomery has done an incredible job with this.
And yeah, he has. And it's like anytime, like I feel like any other coach after like what you said, like when you score 4 points in one half, any other coach after that is fired. You're gone. Like to me, you're gone.
I think because Mark Montgomery, like before he was hired, he was rated like a top 10 assistant coach in college basketball at the time when he was at Michigan State under Tom Izzo.
That's true.
And like so he had the pedigree to be like, let's give this guy a little time. Let's see if he can like build on this and see if he can work it out. And he started with the youngest roster. We had the top 10 youngest roster or team in the country at the time.
So not just the conference.
Yeah, in the country. Yeah, it was the top 10 youngest, or really the top 5 youngest team.
Like we were young, and it was like it's the definition of patience is a virtue. It's like if you give him time, like you give his system time. It's like last year they won. I think last year was like the amount of like the most wins they had since he's been here. Like I think last year they had as many wins as they do now.
I think so. I think they were like 16 and 14 at the end of the
season.
Something
like that. And it's you went your whole season last year. You was struggling. You basically below 500 team, and like to this point now with last night's win, you match your win total of all of last season. NIU is now 16-3 on the season.
Yeah, it's been really impressive. Like I'm surprised we're not ranked.
And it's
because we play in the MAC and nobody's taking us seriously right now. But
like we play in the MAC, we haven't played any ranked
I think
opponents.
we play Iowa in a few weeks or in a while, in a bit.
And it's like I looked at the schedule we had, and it's like we had. I think our 2 toughest games was Missouri. Like we went to Missouri, we lost
down.
We lost that one. Not bad though. We didn't lose that one I think we lost that one by like 6 or 7. And then the next week we go to Ohio State, and they only beat us by 11.
Yeah, but they're not as good this season as junior.
But it's Ohio State.
Yeah, but they don't have.
It's Ohio State.
They don't have like D'Angelo Russell playing for them right now.
So if D'Angelo Russell was that would have been like a 20-point like blowout.
No, they don't got Greg Oden. They don't got Jared Sullinger. They don't got Evan Turner. Like those guys aren't playing for Ohio State right now. So like they're not the team. They're probably not even gonna make the tournament probably.
Wow.
Ohio State. I don't know.
Wow.
Like who do they have on their team?
Wow.
I can't even think of anyone. Like
wow.
I don't think they have anybody that's like, really big time.
I mean, they did lose to Purdue pretty bad. It was like a neck and neck battle with Purdue, and then Purdue just ends up winning by like 12.
Yeah, but Purdue's always kind of like does that to teams.
But so it's like NIU, like this is their best season in like what 20 plus years.
Yeah,
something like that.
I think we're gonna get into the tournament. Like when was the last time we got into the NCAA tournament? I don't even know. Like,
I want to say like the mid '90s.
Yeah, like it's gonna be. Like, this is a very exciting time. Like, especially the women's team was up until they lost a bunch of games in a row too. Like basketball right now at NIU is like really good, and it kind of what makes up for how inconsistent the Bulls have been.
And it's like I was talking with some of my friends about this last night, and like it's a long time coming because like for so long NIU has been a football dominant school. Like the first thing people think about when they think like it's still to this day.
I think the football has really helped recruiting for the basketball and for all the other sports too.
Well, that's true.
Because of the success of the football program, they see that like NIU is willing to put the money into this. So like the recruits want to go here now because they know NIU will put the money, and they have the court now. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Like they spend some money on they spend money on their team. So if you go there, you know you're gonna have the backing of the university. You're not gonna just be like out there on your own.
And Mark Montgomery, I'm pretty sure like he meets with the recruits. He's like, man, I was an assistant under Tom Izzo. Like, if I was a college basketball, like if I was a high school recruit, you got me right there. Like, what? You worked with Izzo? Like, you worked with one of the best college coaches ever.
As long as he's not doing the creepy Jim Harbaugh stuff. Like,
I mean, hey, Harbaugh's doing what he has to do.
Man, the Netflix and chill stuff, that's just too much for me. Like, I can't. He's going to like the teenager's house and hanging out with them and watching movies. Like, it's just too much for me.
Like, hey,
he probably shows up in the khakis.
He's doing what he has to do. But like, shout out to NIU. Like, I think our next game is the 26th. I don't remember if that's a home or away game, but if it's a home game, if I ain't got to work, I will be going.
Man, I'm telling you, like, the students here at the university really should back this team because it's
Yes.
man, you know what's really something crazy. Here at NTC, I know this is totally unrelated. I was able to get press passes for the Northern Television Center to go to basketball games, so we're gonna be able to cover all that stuff now.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. So like we're gonna bring back Top Shelf hopefully.
Yeah.
Not that matters, but so.
But it's like and like the leader of the team, Trayvon Baker.
Man,
like,
he balled last night, dude.
Like I went to the game against Central Michigan, and he like led the way, 17. Like I think this team goes as far as he takes us.
I still don't think we're going to compete for anything legit. Like,
No,
but I think
maybe
we're
not,
going to win the
it's
MAC,
like-
and we might surprise a team in the tournament. Like, if
exactly. Like we might shock someone in the round of 64.
Which because of the parity that's in college basketball right now. Like all of those teams there's no dominant team in college basketball. There's not a Kentucky that won every game. Like there's none of those teams right now. Every time a team becomes the number one overall, they
lose
Yeah.
in a week.
Yeah.
like you were number one for a week, and that's
like
it.
Oklahoma, Michigan State. I can't remember the other.
I
team
think the longest tenure this season for number one probably was Michigan State. Like they probably held it longer than anybody else that was ranked.
But yeah, all of those teams. Every time we have a number one ranked team, they lose, and all of those teams have been losing. And the Big 12 has been really really good this season.
Oh yeah, they talk about a conference that's turned it around.
Well, I mean, they've always been like really talented all over the place. Like they have a lot of good players all over the place, like Kansas, Oklahoma. I mean, they got
Buddy
Baylor.
Hield.
Yeah, Iowa State. Whoever's coaching that team now.
Forgot his name, but he's doing a hell of a job.
Yeah.
But like,
Wish Fred Hoiberg was still there and we had somebody else coaching the Bulls.
but like, keep an eye out for NIU. Like, we coming.
Yeah, we're
coming.
gonna surprise some people. I think we're gonna be better. I think the fans really need to show out. The university has to back them. We got to show up. If if you went to the game last night, you got a free snack for Buffalo Wild Wings. So they give incentives for the students to go.
Once again, I had to work.
Yeah, I know, but
So I missed out on free B dubs. That's a shame.
it's all right. Yeah. So
That's a crime.
When it's all said and done, do you think parity in college basketball right now is a really good thing? Do you think it's good that there's not a dominant team, or do you think people pay more attention when there's that one team striving for perfection,
I think
or
it's-
something like?
I think it's a little bit of both. If you have that one dominant team, it gives people something to it gives them something else to look for. Because if that one team is dominant, the thing people are looking for is when they're gonna lose.
Mm-hmm. So people watching just because they think that this could be the game that they lose.
Exactly. Like when Kentucky had last season,
Yeah.
when Kentucky had their run, it was all right, this is the game, and then when they kept winning, it turned out the game had to be the Final Four against Wisconsin.
Yeah. Also, when those perfection teams go on the road places, people show up in groves.
Exactly.
They just show up and they cheer.
Those games are televised, and it's
Mhm.
and it's getting teams that are not that dominant more airtime. So it's when the team is dominant, it gives people something to look forward to. They're gonna lose this one. They're gonna lose this one. When it's a parity, when it's even kill, it's more entertaining because every team has more to lose. When you're going perfect, you can go perfect up until the tournament. Once you lose the tournament, it's more so how you didn't get it done, how you couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
How you couldn't finish it. When it's even kill, if you lose in the tournament, it's not as much of a big deal, and it's honestly more exciting.
I don't know. For me, because of what perfection is, perfection, once you lose that, let's say you're a really good team. If you lose one game, it's probably not going to hurt you at all. But if you're going perfection, once you lose one, that perfection's done. There's no perfection once you lose that one game. But once you if you're Kansas. They're gonna go to the tournament no matter what they do. They could lose 3 games in a row. They already lost one game, so 2 or 3 more isn't gonna hurt them really.
Right.
So I think the perfection makes it more exciting to watch, a little bit.
I mean, if it's I could see if you were a dominant team and you were winning nail biters. It's another thing to be a dominant team and just blowing people out by 20 every game, like Kentucky was doing to certain SEC teams.
Well, they did a couple scares, but yeah,
they had a couple close games against LSU and I can't remember who else, but it's when you're that dominant, it's depending on who you play, it's oh well, damn, they're gonna win this one, they're gonna win this one. It's it's pretty much just last year when Kentucky, when tournament time started, it was pretty much everyone penciled Kentucky into their Final Four. because
I don't think I had them in my Final Four.
I had them in my Final Four because it's like
I had them losing somewhere, but I can't remember where.
But it was like they were that dominant. It's like when the college basketball team was that dominant.
Wish Dan Kenny was here.
Swear to God, when you could just pencil them into your Final Four. It's like that's how you know your team is dominant.
You know what else is crazy? Doesn't that Kentucky perfection seem like forever ago?
Right? Like no one, like they're not even talking about it.
Yeah,
anymore, right?
like this is what we talked about with Dan Kenny. Like
they're not,
without the ship that like 31 or 32-0 means
like,
nothing.
It's like they went 38-1.
Yeah.
Like,
but like nobody's talking about that.
no
Kentucky.
one's talking unless
like they don't even like when Karl Anthony Towns, like when that was Timberwolves are on TV, which they have been a lot, which is really strange. When they're on TV, like they don't even talk about the Kentucky. Like he was on that team, like he was on that Kentucky team. Like no, they just
no.
Karl Anthony Towns.
This is like Karl Anthony Towns, #1 overall pick, because like it's irrelevant now.
I'm telling you, like this is what we talked about with Dan Kenny when like we were talking about this last year.
Unless Kentucky's on TV, like unless a Kentucky game is on TV and they like show comparisons of what the team's doing now versus to what they did last year. I haven't really been watching Kentucky on TV.
They haven't been on TV as much.
Like not as much. But it's like
they would be on TV if they were still undefeated.
Exactly. And it's like when it's a parity in college basketball, teams like NIU have more of a shot.
Yes. That's what I really love about March Madness as compared to what it is in college football. Because in March Madness, like not every team has a shot, but you have a legitimate chance. Like a one and done game,
right?
Because it's one and done. You have one good night. Somebody gets really hot from the three. You can bounce somebody without
quickly.
Yeah. But in college, I wish they had like more, with 4, like those mid-major schools are never going to get into that tournament. Like it's just never going to happen. Like they're not going to be able to play. Like they're not going to get into those NCAA tournaments. Like it's just not going to happen. Which is sad.
It really is.
Like if you're NIU, yeah, you're gonna be a really good team. But what are you playing for? Like what's there to play for? Like you go undefeated, you're not getting in. You're not good enough to play. Like are you kidding me? You tell me NIU is a top 4 team in the country at any point anywhere ever?
I mean,
probably not.
And the thing is like the only thing they're going to hold against us is who do they play?
Yeah, exactly. We play in the MAC, so we.
And it's like I kind of feel like that with like when the Wichita State when they win like
basketball, no, basketball,
yes,
they pay those teams get respect in basketball.
But it's
like when you have a Wichita State and Gonzaga, those teams are always like a 2-3 seed in the tournament. Like they get the respect.
But like no, like my thing is like it's the same sort of thing. It's like if Wichita State, like that season Wichita State went 30-0, it's like okay, good.
They were at 1 seed, I think.
Like who did you play?
They were at 1 seed.
It's like okay, it's like who do you play? It's like okay, wow, you play Southern Illinois. Wow.
Southern Illinois had a good run for like 5 or 6 years.
Southern
Illinois, don't sleep on the Salukis, all right?
Wow. Like the only other team not named Wichita State that gets my respect is a Northern Iowa because Northern Iowa has proved
what
time
about Gonzaga? Gonzaga, come on,
Mm-hmm.
they don't play in a big time conference either.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, and they're always they're America's team.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Gonzaga.
Says that? They're America's team. That's
Why?
like their thing. I don't know, but that's what it is.
Why?
I don't know, but that's what people say.
The only reason I know like Gonzaga, they obviously they have a good program. Mark Few has done a fantastic job with that program, and it's like Adam Morrison, Stockton's kid. I can't think of his first name right now, but Stockton's son goes to Gonzaga. Kevin Pangos, who's a straight knockdown. I don't even know if he's still there. But if he is,
Adam Morrison.
Adam Morrison.
Oh,
I think
man, he's a top 5 bust of all time.
I think legit Adam Morrison was the one that put Gonzaga over.
Yeah.
Like Gonzaga, I'm pretty sure Gonzaga was there, but when they got Adam Morrison, he put them.
You know, it's really depressing. Adam Morrison has 2 rings.
Yeah, and I ain't got
2.
Moving on.
Let's move on to the NBA. So the All-Star starters were announced. It's Steph, Russ, KD. I'm breaking. Kobe and Kawhi Leonard. On the East, it's Wade, Carmelo, LeBron, Paul George, and Kyle Lowry. Did they get it right? And do you have a problem with anything that I just said?
You want to go first? Or try
first? First of all, who was playing center? Who? LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard? Like, is that the centers?
I mean, well.
How, since when did the NBA All-Star Game become the top 5 vote getters just get in, regardless of position? What if they have been all point guards? The top 5 vote getters were Kyle Lowry, John Wall, Derrick Rose. Who's a really other point guard? I'm blanking right now.
In the East?
Yeah, Alfred Payton. Or,
I mean, like Kemba tried to make a
Kemba
push.
Walker, yeah. What for those guys, 5 guys? We have those guys, 5 guys start in the All-Star game? All 5 point guards all start in the All-Star game? Like, what is that?
This is, like, remember, like,
and you have a guy, like, who's been as dominant as Drummond, who's playing at a position at center, who's supposed to be at All-Star position, is not in the All-Star game. You have, who is the center?
And in the West, you got the great Tim Duncan, who just gets.
He's not. No, please.
Hey,
the All-Star game is not a lifetime achievement award. He has not played well enough to be an All-Star this season.
No, but it's like it's that. I would give it to Tim Duncan.
It's not a lifetime achievement award.
So why did Kobe get it?
Because he got voted in.
Why did Kobe get it?
Because he got voted in.
If it's not
he plays in L.A. When you allow the
the fact that Kobe's retiring has nothing to do with
he would have gotten voted in if he hadn't been retired either way.
Think so?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? Kobe Bryant playing in Los Angeles? No, dude, he would have been an All-Star. Okay. Regardless. Nope. Even if he didn't play. Yao Ming used to get in all the time and never played a game. Like, he would, like, never be injured and they would vote him in. This is the problem. Like, they have to find a way to system.
I have a problem
with fan voting. Like, they have to find a way to mix fan voting with, like, take the player. Let's say the players vote.
I
players
really
vote
think the
and fan voting, like, should be, like, they should mix the two together and, like, whatever comes out of that should be the way they all start. Because there's no. I have a problem with, like, 4 power forwards or 4 small forwards all being on the Eastern Conference All-Star game. Like, what?
Like, it's like with the starters, like, I feel like, and especially there's 2 starters that should be on both sides. Draymond Green should be starting for the West, and I feel like Jimmy Butler should be starting for the East.
Okay, I'll give you that.
And
I'm actually super glad Kyle Lowry got in over Kyrie Irving. Man, if Kyrie Irving had gotten in,
Kyle Lowry had to. Like, it's in Toronto.
I think DeMar DeRozan has been having as good a season as Jimmy Butler. If you look at DeMar DeRozan's numbers.
I think DeMar DeRozan lost points when Jimmy Butler lit his ass up for 40 and a half.
Yeah, but it wasn't DeMar DeRozan doing all the defending on him.
Hey, it ain't like he didn't have his fair share of cracks. It was a bunch.
I think DeRozan gets in anyways, but
it's like how, like, if you want to look at numbers, like, Wade's averaging, like, I want to say, like, 18 and a half points a game.
When Dwayne Wade plays, he's been an all-star.
Jimmy Butler's averaging, like, I want to say, 22 and a half. So it's like, how was Dwayne Wade voted a starter over Jimmy Butler, who's had a way better season?
It's because of the fan voting. Like, I don't understand, like, how this is another thing that baffles me. We live in Chicago, a big city, and Jimmy Butler, we can't vote Jimmy Butler into the All-Star game? Like, what? We allow these players to get into the All-Star game. Like, Dwayne Wade, he plays in Miami. Yeah, I know he plays in Miami, but there's no reason he should be an All-Star this season. He hasn't played good enough. Even with Melo. I mean, Melo's been okay this season. He has been All-Star good.
Exactly.
Like,
and it's like, but
they're not even in the playoffs. Like, the Knicks, if the playoffs were today, Knicks wouldn't even make it. Like,
and, like, I really feel like the fans shouldn't have anything to do with the voting.
I disagree.
No, because
there's the thing. The game is for them. We are the ones that the game is for us. It's not for the players, really. It's for us. They want to put it on an entertaining game, so they let the fans vote. But there should be some kind of
happy medium.
There should gotta be something. Like, you can't have no centers on either team in the All-Star game. Like, not a one.
Like, I feel like the players should have a say, because, like, from the players' point of view,
who's playing power forward? They're not power forwards on either team either.
I mean, like, it's easy to map out the West, like, that lineup. Not the West, well, pretty much both, because not the West, like, more so the East than the West.
It is?
Yeah.
Who's the starting 5 on the East? At positions. Go. Kyle Lowry, Dwayne Wade, and then what?
I'll put Melo at the 3. Bron at 4, and
Paul George at the 5.
Or like, you can, it's crazy because, like, you can, like, interchange those 3. Like, I'll probably put Paul George at the 3, Melo at the 4, Bron at 5.
Because Project is not a center. Like, he does not.
Out of those 5,
and Paul George is 6'10". He's taller than LeBron.
He's not.
Yeah, he is.
They're, like, all the same height.
No.
Yes.
Paul George is 6'10".
Paul George is, like, legit 6'7".
He's 6'10".
Swear to God, he's 6'7".
6'10".
He's 6'7".
Well, on his player card, it says 6'10".
Player card's wrong.
Okay.
The only one that's 6'10" that's
how about it in the East? How about in the West? Who do you have playing center there?
I don't know. Probably like whoever's guarding LeBron.
So you have there's only 2 choices. It's either Kevin Durant or Kawhi Leonard, and neither of those guys could ever play center in any roster ever.
I would probably put Kawhi at the 5 before I put KD, because probably because Kawhi is a way better defender than Kevin Durant.
And it's not like he's gonna have to defend anyone that's actually playing center
Until the fourth quarter.
I don't know. How much do you think Kobe plays?
I think Kobe probably plays. Of course, he's gonna play like majority of the first quarter.
No way.
I think so.
I think he'll play 5 minutes.
Because it's his last All-Star game. And I think he plays majority. Like
I think he'll play like 15 minutes through the entire game.
He probably played like maybe 5, maybe 6 minutes in the first, and then like when that fourth quarter comes around, that's when I think he'll
play 5 minutes in the first, and then like 5 minutes in the third, and then if the game gets close towards like the last 10 minutes of the game, like in the fourth quarter, like let's say 7 minutes, so they'll put him back in and let him finish the game.
Yeah.
But only if it's close, though. I mean, even if it's not, maybe. I think he probably wins. Is the All-Star fan voting too, like the MVP?
No, that I don't know.
Oh, if it is, he's gonna win it probably
easily,
unless Russell Westbrook goes like super ham. But like, I guess I don't really have a problem with the West as much as I do the East. Like I don't think Dwayne Wade has played like an All-Star.
You heard
you leave out players like Jimmy Butler, who's been an All-Star. You leave out DeRozan, who's been playing better than Dwayne Wade, and then Carmelo Anthony. Like, yes, you're Carmelo Anthony. You have big name recognition, but like, you haven't played well enough to be an All-Star. Like, man, Andre Drummond should be the starting center on the All-Star team. He's been that good this season. He's been that dominant.
Yeah. And
we'll talk.
And I feel like Draymond Green. Like, I'm not saying he should be like the 5, but Draymond Green should definitely be starting for the West.
To be honest with you, I really the 5 that they picked, besides maybe Kobe, but Kobe, like
this is it for Kobe.
Yeah, like I don't know. If he wasn't retiring, I'd probably have more of an issue with it.
Right.
But that's the other 4 guys. No brainer, no questions asked. They are absolute all-stars, starters.
Everyone other than Kobe.
Yeah, because Kobe. I mean, yeah, he's Kobe. He hasn't played all that good this season. No. All right, so we're gonna move over. Shocking. Well, maybe not shocking, but I guess the timing is a little shocking.
Yeah.
Of when they fired David Platt.
It's weird.
And they gave a multi-year extension to Tyronn Lue on top of it. How shocked were you when you heard that? When you were like going through your phone, you popped on ESPN and like you see like David Platt. So I had a buddy of mine. And he posted a status where he says like nervous. He's like he hopes the Cavs doesn't get Thibodeau. I'm like what are you talking about?
I had a friend that said the same.
I'm like what are you talking about? So then I went on ESPN and then I found out that they fired David Platt. I'm like what? I'm like I couldn't believe it. I was like what?
I had a friend that said the same thing. He was like man I hope they don't go after Tibbs.
He's not going
like
there.
the NBA don't want to see that. Like it was like I was pretty shocked because it's like you're 30-11. You're the third best. I want to say you're the third best team in the entire NBA. Fourth,
in my opinion. I think the Thunder are better than them.
Okay. Well, record-wise, they're I want to say record-wise they're the third best team.
Maybe.
Golden State, San Antonio. I want to say it's them.
It's close between them and the Thunder. I can't really remember.
So like, and it's you pretty much like have a cakewalk through the Eastern Conference to the final. Like it's pretty much the Eastern Conference is yours to lose. And you fire your head coach.
I think they
before the halfway point of the season. So, and I mean, like I kind of feel like when they hired David Platt, mind you, they hired David Platt before LeBron decided to return. So I kind of feel like if LeBron would have decided to return before they hired Platt, I definitely would have felt like Tyronn Lue would have been the coach.
No way.
Then.
I highly doubt that.
Or someone else.
It wouldn't have been. Obviously, it wouldn't have been David Platt, but I don't think it would have been Tyronn Lue.
It would have been someone LeBron wanted, and
it would have been somebody who's actually coached in the NBA before, at any level. Like it wouldn't have been a rookie head coach.
Well, and it's how I want to say it's like LeBron, I saw the video, like LeBron talking to reporters. He was all like, well, I didn't have any say in this, or no, I found out when everybody else did at 3:30 yesterday. I'm all like, dude, you're the face of that team. Matter of fact, you're the face of that entire franchise. No move is made without your consent. Like, they don't just make a move and not tell you, because the moves they make affect him the most. I definitely feel like he had something to do with Black getting fired.
I think,
and I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but like when you look at this past year and a half, like you brought it up before we started, the play against Chicago in Game 4, like David Blatt, you're the head coach. You draw up a play, and LeBron just like, man, scratch that.
Give me the ball.
Give me the ball. Like what?
What you know what's funny about that?
Like, and then you got this year, LeBron subbing himself out, walking off on the court, and this is like, you're the coach. Get it. Like, I don't care who he is. You're the coach. Control your team. Get in his face. Like, are you that? Like, does LeBron have that much power?
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me?
No, like
he's been the GM
like
of
no.
the team.
I'm just like, does he have that much power to the point where the coach is like, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything to him.
I think that is the thing that's going on.
I'm not gonna say anything to him. Like, if I say something to LeBron, it's like that could be my job, and it's like, dude, you're the coach.
Okay, so 2 things. Back to the LeBron thing, that play he scrapped. I would have loved to have seen the play.
I legit want to know what the play was, because maybe the ball didn't start in LeBron. Like, maybe LeBron didn't have the ball to begin the play, or maybe I don't know.
What could he have drew up that
it was an inbound play in the first place, and there was enough. I don't know if there was enough time to actually run the. I don't remember how much time was off. Because all I remember was a catch and shoot. Like, I don't know if it was enough time to.
I can't remember, but what else could he have ran? What else could he do? LeBron James is your best player. You're not gonna give it to LeBron. What could he have written up?
I mean, maybe the first play was for LeBron to get the play in the first place, and LeBron didn't like that one, so he said draw it. Like, he scratched and just drew another one. Like, I don't know. But it's like when you're
the thing is, you could have kept that to yourself,
right? But I don't like
if you're LeBron, why even say it? Why say anything?
The thing is, I don't think LeBron said anything. I think the camera crews caught that. Like, they're in the huddle, and this is they're videotaping. It's like, wait, did y'all see that? Rewind that back, and Jeff Van Gundy was like, "Wait, did you see that? Like, LeBron, whatever play Black drew up, LeBron didn't like it, and he said, and he just he literally took his hand and wiped the board and was like, no, we're doing this," and this is dude, I've read several reports, off ESPN website. I'll read as much as they let you read, because to read in depth on the ESPN website, you have to be an insider, which costs money. Money I ain't got, so. So it's I read one report. It was the veterans of the team. I'm not gonna say LeBron, but it's I'm pretty sure the more vocal veterans, like the J.R. Smiths and
You think he's a vocal veteran in that locker room?
LeBron?
No, J.R.
When he's serious,
no,
yes.
No way.
There's
no.
Everyone
besides,
goes to
besides
LeBron.
Besides LeBron, there's no. Whenever I watch
and James Jones,
no.
for some reason LeBron loves to have James Jones on his team.
My favorite James Jones stat. He went a season where every basket he made was assisted. Everyone. He didn't create his own shot, not once.
I mean, he's not that type of player.
No, I know, but you think you'd make a shot once, you dribble down the court and you get it wide open,
nope.
Once? No, nope. Didn't happen.
But it's the veterans in the locker room felt with all this, felt like Blatt was in over his head. I'm like, how, in what way? He's 30. He led y'all to a finals. Mind you, it was an easy road to the finals, but he led you to the finals. He was probably going to lead you to the finals again this year.
The problem with honestly, I think I don't think LeBron went to the front office this guy's got to go. I think David Griffin went to LeBron and was we're gonna fire him. What do you think? And LeBron was probably okay, do what you guys got to do. And he respects Tyronn Lue, so he was yeah, let's get Lue in there. Let's see how this goes. And the reality is no matter if they're gonna get out of the East, but if they play Oklahoma City, if they play San Antonio, if they play Golden State again,
if they play any top team in the West,
they will get swept
easily.
There's just no way. They don't have the personnel to defend Golden State, and they don't have any of that stuff going on right now. And when you get drummed by 34 points in your own building,
after losing by 6 or 7 at Golden State, and it's that was the game that people circle, not just the players, but fans of the NBA around the world circled their calendars. Hey, when do Cleveland and Golden State play again? Okay, I'm gonna circle that, because the first game was so close. It was such a grinded out game. It was Golden State couldn't do what they do. The first matchup, Cleveland made them play their style of bat. I'm not gonna say it's their style, but it's Golden State wasn't
their style.
Golden State
wasn't.
They
don't have the off. You have Kevin Love and you're not utilizing him at all. You basically have him just spawning up for hitting threes. He's a really he's a max player. You paid him max money to go there.
5 years, $117 million,
and you got him
scored 3 points.
And we watch him on defense, he just looks lost.
Drake. Whenever he's guarding Draymond Green eats him alive. Dude, it's we're paying you $117 million, you can't play D.
Yeah,
like mind you, like he's never been a defensive.
but he is a liability. Like, and they don't have the personnel to cover at that position. Like, if it was like a guard, like that was playing for you, like they could bring in somebody like a Shumpert or like a LeBron to cover it up a little bit more. But like they don't got anybody on the back end. They're talking something interesting that they brought up. Maybe potential trade moves. They're talking about maybe trading Kevin Love to the Phoenix Suns for a package including Markieff Morris, Tyson Chandler, and PJ Tucker.
Wow, can Phoenix cover that?
Yeah.
Phoenix can cover that contract?
Yeah, because you factor in all the three monies of the three guys that I just mentioned. And that would be, I think they're under the cap too, so they don't have to match the salary
because like
dollar for dollar.
And for because of those two, and because of Kevin Love's max and Kyrie's max, like Cleveland really can't go out and get a free agent because of the luxury tax. Like
I mean, they can go into it, but like the thing is, because of the money that they're giving, like the contracts, the way they're structured, and not to mention the LeBron thing is like always going to be like hanging over them because he's basically going to sign a 1 year probably
like that 2 year player
he's gonna, option. I think he's going to sign like a 1 year basically for the rest of his career. So like he's going to have pressure on that organization to be a winner every single season.
And it's crazy because it's like,
and not to mention he's probably going to get paid like $40 million next season.
Each time. Because I think this one was like his first one was 2 years, $48 million.
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about $40 million a season.
Well, yeah.
Like he's gonna make $40 million this season. That's in crazy. A couple of years. Like because the salary cap's just gonna keep growing and growing, and like you need to put the money somewhere. And so LeBron's gonna be making like $40 million in a couple of years. So he needs to they have a lot of pressure on them to appease him all the time.
Yeah, because
he's just gonna keep signing these 1 deals.
And with that, like with the 2 year with the player option, it's like after 1 year he can opt out and be a free agent. It's like
every season
he left once. Mm-hmm. Don't think he won't leave again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's pretty much what he's saying. Like that's pretty much what I feel like he's saying. Like, man, I left once.
Because LeBron really wants to bring a ship to Cleveland,
like,
but he's not gonna sacrifice his own legacy to bring it there.
He's like, man, I left once, and when I left, I got what I accomplished. I went somewhere else. I won 2.
Yeah, he went to 4 straight finals. Like, he went to the finals. 5. Yeah,
like,
probably 6.
Like I won 2. And after my time down there was done, I came back just to bring this city a championship. Like, man, I left once to accomplish a goal. Do not think I will not leave again to do it again.
And the other thing that was why that Golden State game was so hyped, the one that just passed, because Kyrie Irving was coming back, like he was just getting back into the rotation in Christmas, but he's back now, and like they still not even the game was never close. Like they were same thing happened with the Bulls when we played them. Like they were just the game started out kind of close and then just steamrolled us.
Like it's like the minute he took out Rose, it was like, oh my god, downhill.
Well, I mean, Aaron Brooks sometimes how did we lose to Boston last night?
I didn't watch it,
dude. We lost to Boston, and Aaron Brooks played poorly.
I kind of feel like the bench as a whole, these last couple games have been.
I think our bench, like our Chicago Bulls bench is extremely overrated as a bench. I think you have so many guys on that bench right now that you never know from any given game what you're going to get out of any of them.
I honestly would take our bench over Cleveland's bench, with an exception of 2 players.
Yeah, I guess, but
with an exception to. I mean, because how
I don't even know who their backup bigs are. I mean, they got Tristan Thompson, they got J.R.
Iman
Montrump starts.
Oh, he starts
at shooting guard.
And it's like,
but back to that Phoenix trade. If they actually did that, they could start PJ Tucker and put Iman Shumpert back on the bench. They could start Tyson Chandler next to Tristan Thompson
because they're looking to move Mozgov too.
Or they can start Tristan Thompson next to Markieff Morris, who can hit threes and be a stretch 4. And so then they can have bench mod would be Mozgov or Tyson Chandler, whoever else they play, and then J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert. That's Matthew Dellavedova. That's solid. And then that makes Mozgov tradable if you want to get a backup power forward or a backup center.
They are trying to move. Like I've heard rumors.
Because Mozgov has a really nice contract. I think it's like a final season of the contract, or like it's 2 like no money whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So you can flip that for a really nice piece. And but the problem is Tyson Chandler has like a ton of money attached to him. I think they signed him to like a 4-year, $60 million deal.
70.
Yeah, like that's bad now. It looks bad. Tyson Chandler looks old. Like he got really old really fast. Like he just popped up out of bed and he's just like old.
and it's like props. Like I want to say props to Tyronn Lue, but it's like this is someone who's been an assistant for.
He's a doc. He's one of the doc.
He's been an assistant for quite a while.
He's the highest paid assistant coach in the NBA right now.
He spent time with Doc Rivers when Rivers was at Boston
and in Los Angeles.
And when Rivers went to LA, he brought Tyronn Lue with him. Mm-hmm. And when I don't know why he left Rivers, but when I think he left. I want to say he left to pursue the open Cleveland job, but he never got it. He didn't get it.
Well, they offered him a ton of money to be the assistant coach of Cleveland. They a lot of money. That's the other thing. Why would you, if you're the Cleveland, why would you have that guy be the assistant to David Platt and give him that much freaking money?
I honestly, I kind of feel like
David Platt had to be looking over his shoulder all the time because there's a report that basically Tyronn Lue was the guy the enforcer of the team, and so he had to reining the reins because he didn't want to overstep his coach David Platt.
Yeah, and it's I also heard reports that players responded more to Lue than they did to Blatt, and it's this is the assistant.
Well, that's because David Platt doesn't have any NBA experience. Tyronn Lue plays in the league. He won a ring in the league. I'm pretty sure with the Lakers when you've seen the picture of the
yes. They put Tyronn Lue's head on AI's body, and they put
David Platt on Tyronn Lue's body
as Allen Iverson is stepping over him, and it's just the internet is too quick with the memes. They waste zero time with memes. It is the funniest thing. I legit if something funny happens in the sports world, I legit wait. I just watch my Twitter feed to see what the first meme is. It's just that was the first one I saw, and I was too fast. It was legit 5 minutes after the announcement of David Blatt being fired and Tyronn Lue being named the head coach. And it's just honestly for Tyronn Lue, I feel it was it's a long time coming. I don't know everyone can't be a Tom Thibodeau and spend 18 years as an assistant before getting your first head coaching job.
Man, I think he's going to be the head coach of Phoenix next year if Hornacek gets fired. Which I think that's going to happen.
And that's sad because Hornacek has really turned he's turned that franchise around. And it's just
he's not turned anything around. Dude, they've gotten worse since he started head coaching that team.
Not really.
They haven't made the playoffs. They have all this dysfunction in their roster.
It's not the fact that they haven't made the playoffs. They've always been one spot out of the playoffs since he took over.
I don't know, Jeff Hornacek. I just think he doesn't have that locker room right now. But Devin, I don't know if you saw Devin Booker. He's been balling lately.
Does David Blatt find another job in the NBA?
No, not for a while.
Not for a while?
No, at least 5 years or so. He's probably gonna coach over. Yeah, dude. I don't know. The experiment didn't work. What team do you think is gonna hire him? What would be the roster you would have to have in order to bring in a David Platt again?
I mean, you would have to look at who needs a coach.
What is he good at? Is he a good offensive mind? Is he a good defensive mind? What does he do? What's his thing? Because when you got Tom Thibodeau, you got got certain coaches.
You know what you're gonna get.
You got certain coaches that
what you're gonna get.
You're gonna get. You're gonna get hard-nosed defense. What's David Blatt's thing? What does he do? What's his elite thing?
I mean, I kind of feel like he was blessed to have LeBron.
Yeah, but
and Kyrie.
If it wasn't for that, what's his skill? What's he do?
Well, I think that's why he needs another job to see what he really offers.
If he really wants to have a job, where nobody wants to coach?
Brooklyn.
I
was just about to say that. I'm all shit. He can go to Brooklyn. You talk about to see. I really feel
they talk about big names. No way. Any of those coaches that have coaching experience already in the NBA are never going to go there because they don't have control of their pick until 2019.
They wanted to talk to Tibbs. Tibbs was like, man, I'm not going there. No.
No.
And it's the whole experiment with bringing KG, Paul Pierce to Brooklyn that failed. That failed miserably, and because of that, like you said, they don't have a pick until 2019. So
they don't have control over.
They don't have control. Okay, they don't have control. So up until they can't pick their own pick.
2019
until 2019.
They have this one goes to Boston. They get to swap picks in 2017 with Boston. So if Boston has a better record than them, which they will, so they can flip picks with them again. And then in 2018, the pick goes to Boston. And then 2019, they get their pick.
And it's if you're Prokhorov, and it's dude, you can't y'all say Derrick Rose has bad PR skills. Y'all have not seen a Mikhail Prokhorov press conference. Like,
no, but
no.
really
Like
funny?
it's funny because like when he first took over, he was like, I will bring a championship to this team in 5 years. Okay,
or I'll get married. That's what he said.
Or I'll get married. 5 years later, no championship. I don't even think he's married.
No,
and it's like. so it's like one, you're a liar. So and like his last press conference, he's all like, I feel like I'm long overdue for a championship. But it's like, well, dude, when you bring players who are past their prime and try to like, no.
I don't understand why the Jason Kidd experiment was no wonder he left there. Like that was a disaster. And like bringing in aging veterans, it'll be like, and you give up 3 first-round picks.
Because
3.
Yes, for a KG who has been past his prime for a long time. Like
not a long time.
Not a long time, but it's like
3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years, and you bring in the Paul Pierce, who's
a knockdown shooter at this point in his career.
Yeah,
like he's clutch, but like they weren't in big moments where they needed Paul Pierce to be clutch. They could have dealt with their roster, rebuilt the way normal teams rebuild through the draft, but no, it's like, oh, let's just trade for these aging veterans and see how it goes.
And it's like in a prime example of a team that's just like, well, we're just gonna count our losses and rebuild through the draft is Indiana, Minnesota. Like, if you look at the young talent in Minnesota, like Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, Tyus Jones, who needs to get more playing time. Shabazz Muhammad. Like,
nasty dunk.
Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
That's 5, right there.
Even Ricky Rubio.
Rubio, who's still relative, like, but he's been hurt a lot. I mean,
but he's still a great point guard. He's still a magician with the basketball. And he's been shooting it better this season than he was in seasons past.
And it's like I feel like if Brooklyn would have did that, I feel like that was like you said, that's better off. Like, you're better off doing that than trying to win now with aging veterans, like, because it's not going to happen.
Because, well, I mean, the only reason Prokhorov did it is because they're building that super stadium in Brooklyn, and they needed, Barclays Center. They needed people to show up, and you need to have a team good enough to people to show up. And now what are you going to do? Nobody's going to coach that team. Like, if you're not going there, like, there's just, like, Lionel Hollins is probably thanking the sweet Jesus that he got fired.
He's he probably walking like, I'm fired. Thank you. I can go like, thank you. Like, I've never been more grateful for it to be fired in my life, and it's just like.
I've been watching SportsCenter every once in a while, and they have like Tom Thibodeau on SportsCenter every once in a while. Man, he looks so awkward on TV. He doesn't look like he belongs there at all.
It's like I've heard, like, for the Brooklyn job, Tibbs is the only name I've hired. Like, I heard David Platt. Like, I don't think, like, I don't know if they want to try. They can try and talk to David Platt. Like, David, I really don't know. Like names like that, like names out there, like coaching names out there. You got Mark Jackson, probably won't take it.
Not going there.
Tibbs, not taking it. David Blatt, question mark.
It's got to have to be like an assistant coach, like an up and coming. Maybe Patrick Ewing takes the job because, like, just to get his foot wet, get a coaching gig in the beginning. Like a guy who's been an assistant coach for a while is looking to get an NBA job. Maybe Brian Shaw tries to revive his career. No, not Kevin McHale.
Well, he won't go.
Brian Shaw.
Maybe.
Like Brian Shaw, like he was a really hot assistant, and then he failed miserably in Denver.
Does Ty Corbin have a job?
I don't know who's in Utah right now. Is it Robert something Quinn? No, I don't think Kyron Corbin's coaching right now.
Maybe Ty Corbin. Like, if I don't know.
I can see Brian Shaw now that I think about it, because he was like a hot assistant for a long time.
Under Frank Vogel, yeah.
Yeah, and then he went to it was not even Frank Vogel. He did something else before that he was like a really good hire. He was like, people thought he was gonna be like a next good coach. And then he went to Denver, and like the team didn't work out there.
The team quit on him.
Yeah,
like, so honestly, like the team quit on him, and it's like David Blatt, like. Back to David Blatt, it's like, I don't know, like you said, like, we don't know what he brings, because when he accepted the job,
he thought he was in a rebuilding.
He, like, I don't know, like, he was blessed enough to have LeBron James say, I'm coming back. Like, I think David Blatt's trials would have been a lot, like, we would know what he would do, like, what he's capable of, if LeBron didn't decide to come back. Like, if it would have
he'd
just,
still be coaching there right now.
Like, if it was just Kyrie and Andrew Wiggins
and Bennett.
And, like, if they'd have kept that.
Yeah.
Because, like, we would have seen, like, okay, like, this is what he can do. Like, if LeBron would have waited one more year or however long to see, like...
I think the writing was on the wall that wasn't going to work out. They had to make... Because, like, you have to make some kind of decision. It's either because they're not good enough to win the finals as currently constructed.
No.
And this isn't the coach that's going to take you over the top in any of those teams in the West,
And
those
it's
elite
like-
teams. So, like, why wait until the end of the season when you don't win the finals to make the coaching move? You might as well make it now while you have time to rebuild your roster and you have time to get the new system in place when you have this time to build, like, to recreate, like, an elite team. Because they're going to win the East probably anyways. It's really just about getting past that Western Conference team, whichever one it is.
And it's like, I think back to, like, to last year's finals and like after the fact, like you got the Warriors at their championship parade and it was told to, like, a reporter was talking to Draymond Green because everyone had heard what Kyrie Irving had said. Like, Kyrie Irving's words were, if I didn't get hurt, we would have won. And Draymond Green just smiled and was like, well, if I was 6'11", I'd be Anthony Davis. And it's just like, you can't.
You think he's an all-star this season? No, I don't think so either.
And it's like well, one, like with that you can't play the what ifs, and it's like I honestly feel like if like well I'm like that second game because like that first game when they played Kyrie Irving was nowhere near 100%.
The second game Kyrie Irving.
I mean the first game. The first game Kyrie was like he was literally on a minutes.
Man, if LeBron hit that shot at the end of game one. Like, we're not even talking about that Kyrie Irving injury.
Exactly.
Like, it might not even happen because that didn't happen until overtime.
And it's like,
so who knows what's gonna happen? Because Cleveland could have been up 3-1.
It's the what if.
Yeah.
It's the what if.
It's always like this with LeBron. Like, you always have these what ifs with LeBron. Every
like,
season, it's like these what ifs. Like, what if this had happened? What if this had happened?
Because you're right. If LeBron hits that shot in game one, they win game one.
Yep. They don't lose Kyrie Irving.
Exactly, and they go ahead and they win game two. They go to Cleveland. They win game three. They won game three. So you're looking at a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, and then if you
potential 3-0 lead with all your players healthy outside of Kevin Love. And this is like this second game. You have everyone. No one's hurt.
Yeah.
No one was hurt. Kevin Love was there. Kyrie was there. Bron's there. Shumpert's there. J.R. Smith is there. Like, everyone is healthy. Both rosters are healthy. And it's like, oh, well, okay, put up or shut up, Kyrie. You said if you were healthy, we would have won. You're healthy.
Not on this day.
You got your ass kicked by 34.
But it wasn't Kyrie Irving's fault. Let's not throw it at Kyrie Irving.
It's not his fault.
Let's not throw one of the bus.
It's not his fault, but and it's not like he did anything to, like, legit, like LeBron.
Yeah, he didn't have any, like
he didn't have any, like, he didn't do anything. Like,
he didn't
LeBron,
have any Kyrie Irving moments.
Like, LeBron only had 16.
Well,
he only had 16 points. Kevin Love had 3.
We'll see in the future what ends up
I don't
happening.
even know how much Kyrie even had, but whatever. Like,
I don't know. He didn't play super well.
Like, however much he finished with, their total.
And Shaw Livingston was abusing him a little bit in the post.
And it's like, dude, this is like when you're Golden State, like when you can play, like when you have the best shooters in the world, when you have the best garbage man in the world, because Draymond Green is a garbage man. Like, he does like, honestly, Golden State,
man, he's earning that contract.
Like, him and Jimmy Butler both. Like, Jimmy Butler's earning his contract. Yeah. Don't even go there. Jimmy Butler is earning his contract. But
by the time that contract's up, he's never going to be able to hold up.
But
like, he's everything in his body is going to be shot.
But Draymond Green, it's like Golden State is not what they are without Draymond Green.
No, but you can take like the best, like the second and third best player on any team and put them, and like that'll happen. Yeah, they're, you know,
like you say that, but it's like it's like you can't, like, if you take Draymond Green off this team, like this year's team, I guarantee they're not, what are they, 40-4?
Yeah. One more real quick point, then we're gonna move on to the NFL. Did you watch the Bulls game when we played them, or did you have to work?
I watched that one.
Did you see that alley-oop from Barbosa to Iguodala? I'm telling you, that was the nastiest alley-oop I've ever seen. Like, Barbosa just like
he's just like,
yeah, like it was like he was just like, and like it was like perfect pass.
And it's like before we transition, it's like I understand like Golden State's chasing perfection, and like they're 40-4, and this is like I just like how they're 40-4, and no one's talking about the Spurs and their shot at 72-10 because it's just like it's beautiful to me because it's like every year it's like the Spurs are just slowly just like.
But they're not even doing it slowly. They've won. They have.
And it's like with quote unquote boring basketball because it's like
if if they were the season we're in today, they would have the third best defensive team of all time.
All time.
Their margin of victory is higher than Golden State's by a lot.
And it's like
they only have 6 losses. They haven't lost at home.
And it's like it's funny because it's like when you look at Golden State's record, like they're 40-4. Like they beat Cleveland twice, they beat Chicago twice, they beat
the Clippers twice.
They beat the Clippers twice.
Beat the Thunder once.
They beat the Thunder. Okay, they beat OKC once. They beat Houston. Like I'm talking about like the top teams in the East, and this like East and West. And I just named the top 2 teams in the East. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't think they played Toronto. Have they played Toronto?
They beat Toronto twice.
Okay, they beat Toronto twice. And this is like
Toronto's the second best team in the East, probably.
Yeah,
it's close between them and the Bulls, but.
And it's like you haven't played your first matchup.
They beat Indiana twice.
Okay, yeah, including last night. Okay, they beat Indiana. And
Miles
it's like,
Turner played really good last night.
Career high, 31.
Yeah.
And it's like you haven't played the Spurs, and like this is what people want to see.
It's like because the clash of their like different play style.
And it's like when you look at Golden State's playoff run, who probably had an easier playoff run than Cleveland had. And it's like when you look at Golden State, like they didn't play the Spurs in the playoffs. They didn't play the Clippers in the playoffs.
They
didn't play OKC in the playoffs because OKC didn't make it. Yeah. And it's just like, okay, now we get to see when we.
They played Memphis and Houston. Memphis is old. They're basketball style. It's just
like
they're gonna have to do something.
Memphis is old, and Mike Conley was not 100%.
And Houston can't guard anyone to save their life.
Like even though it was a entertaining Western Conference Finals between the two of them, it's just like when it came down to it, James Harden didn't have enough around him.
He played that one game. He played really poorly.
And that
that was at game 6, I think.
Yeah,
he turned it over like crazy.
And Harden didn't have enough around him to match up with Golden State,
Smith.
and they got him back. And this is like now we get to see Golden State against San Antonio. Like the playoffs, we're gonna see Golden State and San Antonio.
Maybe.
We're gonna see Golden State and OKC. We're gonna see Golden State and LA. Hopefully,
you're probably only gonna get one of those matchups because probably San Antonio, Oklahoma City are gonna finish 2-3 unless something else happens. Along the line.
Barring a catastrophe.
So not even a catastrophe. They're only 2 games back.
But
2-3.
You get what I'm saying? Like
so Oklahoma City and San Antonio.
Injury changes.
So Oklahoma and San Antonio are going to have to play each other, and then they're going to have to go on. They're going to have to play each other, and then they're going to have to play Golden State.
And it's like when you're Golden State, and it's like now we get to see because at the point guard position, no point guard gets an easy night off.
No.
In the NBA, no point guard gets a night off. And it's like now we get to see and it's just like you expect Steph Curry to when Steph Curry's not having a good night, which is very rare. He has it he's it doesn't
it's not
slow,
all on him.
It doesn't slow that team down because he has enough around him where it's like, okay, Steph off, well the rest of us got it. And it's just I'm
really looking forward to Monday. I can't wait to see San Antonio and Golden State.
Let's
move on to the NFL. We're going to talk about the 2 conference title games. All
I know is Tom Brady is going back to the Super Bowl.
Let's start with the AFC because I do not think that'll be the case.
All I know is Tom Brady going back.
I'm wearing a Peyton Manning jersey, everyone. I'm wearing a Peyton Manning jersey.
Is Tom Brady is going back.
The Golden Boy is going to get shut down by
Golden
that defense.
Boy is going to be golden.
No, dude, I don't. Dude, I just think their defense is incredible. Denver's.
Okay.
Their defense is really good. I think they'll find a way to stop things, and they'll make it work.
Nope.
And no.
Nope. I'm telling you, man, never bet against Brady.
I'm betting against Brady. I think the game will be close. I think it'll come down to the end, and because they're 2-2. Like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and the players are 2-2 against each other. And Peyton Manning has won every game that's in the conference title game. He's won every game at home when he's the home team. So there are a lot of stats that are in Peyton Manning's favor.
Those 2 games?
They're only the 2 games that count. The conference title game. Every time, the 2 times that Peyton Manning and Tom Brady have played in the conference title game, Peyton Manning has won. And both times he was at home.
I'm going Brady.
Oh, you can do whatever you want.
Because
I'm betting against the Golden Boy.
Don't get me wrong. Yes, Cam Newton won his first MVP, and he should have.
I don't think he's won it yet. They
announced it.
Did he have a ceremony?
Now that they didn't have,
okay.
But it was announced that he won his MVP. But it's I told people coming out of the Deflategate, Brady was he was coming, and it's okay. Like y'all want to say I'm a cheater? Like okay, like now I'm gonna hurt your feelings. Like cause what better way? Like I'm not saying he's gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm not going that far yet. But I'm just saying like if he goes back to the Super Bowl, what better way? Like that's the cake. If I go back to the Super Bowl, that's the cake. It's like okay, now like y'all want to hold all this over my head. Like y'all want to say I cheated and all that, but none of the teams that we played beat like my record still says this. Like I'm here. The other teams that say y'all cheated, where they at? They watching. I'm here. That's the cake.
So
and if he wins it, that's the icing.
Another thing. So the AFC in the last 14 seasons, I think, have had 4 quarterbacks go to the Super Bowl. Can you name them?
14?
4. Yeah, the last 14 seasons, only 4.
Brady, Manning, Flacco, and Big Ben.
That's it. Like in 14 seasons, there's only been 4 guys.
I tried to say his last name and I stumbled. Roethlisberger. There we go.
Ben Roethlisberger. That's crazy. That seems like crazy to me. Like 4 guys have gone to the Super Bowl in the AFC. 4
in the last 14. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brady, Manning, Big Ben,
Flacco. That's it.
And it's just like I'm like once again I'm not saying New England's gonna win the whole thing, but it's just like you wanna like people say the Patriots are cheaters, and
let's not talk about that anymore.
No, like, but it's like
I think that's irrelevant at this point. I think that's been.
Man, you're right.
I think that's because Tom Brady's played good enough to make that stuff all go away. Exactly. All that conversation's gone now.
Exactly, but it's like it doesn't matter because it's like you say it's irrelevant, but every time like they lose, it's like that's what the Patriots get with they cheating.
Nah, dude,
you know what?
Oh, come on.
Like, that's what I see.
The haters.
That's hate.
The
that
haters.
Is hate.
The haters.
That is hate. That is like pure hate, and it's just like and I'm like, if this was your team, you wouldn't dare say that.
No.
You wouldn't say that at all.
But I think top to bottom, I think Denver's has a better roster. I think they have better players on their team. The defensively and offensively, I think their receivers are better. I think their running backs are better. I think they're not their tight end, but not their line.
I mean, it's like
their linebackers are all better and their corners, like they have elite players.
Chris Harris is hurt, so I don't think he's playing.
Well, they got Roby and they got Hakeem Talib.
I thought Roby was hurt too.
No, I'm pretty sure he's not.
Well, I think he's hurt, but he's playing.
Yeah, but whatever, he'll be fine. They'll have somebody else come in. Like they have elite players all over. They have T.J. Ward. They got like good players all over.
And it's like, when you're Denver, and it's like, well, we know who they're going to.
Yeah,
they're
gonna put T.J. Ward on Gronk. T.J. Ward is capable of guarding.
We know who they're going to. And now the question is, like, yeah, you know who you're going to, but is that still gonna stop him?
I think Julian Edelman's kind of the wild card, more so than Gronk. I think if Julian Edelman has a good game, the Patriots probably win.
Oh, definitely. And Amendola's hurt, which is
he got fined for something just recently.
Oh, it was him and
it
was him and another player because. It was him and Larry Fitzgerald because they both got fined for illegal blocking the backs during their.
Either way, yeah, I was like, oh, okay, that was interesting. I didn't know what he got fined for.
Yeah, so and I like how it happened like a week later.
You're taking the Patriots
in that game? Yeah,
I'm taking the Broncos. So we're gonna move over to the NFC. I think this is going to be a really, really good game. Like, this could be, like, one of those, like, legendary epic games that we talk about for a long time. Like, remember that Eagles-Cardinals, like, NFC title game? Like, I don't know, like...
I was thinking along the lines of Seattle-San Fran.
No. You remember that Seattle? Remember that's... Like,
I remember it.
Like, where they, like, Eagles went up by a ton, and then Arizona came...
And Kurt Warner said, hey, my name is Kurt Warner.
Yeah, like, the game ended up being, like, this crazy shootout. Like, that was, like, one of the greatest games ever.
And it's, like... I kind of feel like this game could be either two ways. It could be that type,
yeah,
or it could be that Seattle San Fran grinded out.
I don't think so.
You got two defenses.
I think Carolina's defense has been a little exposed over. Like they've shown they can give up leads, even if they get up by a lot. Even if they get up by a bunch, like they've proven that they can give up the lead. Like they can let teams come back.
Like you get like
Green Bay, Arizona, like Green Bay, New Orleans, like New York Giants.
That's
Seattle,
the one that sticks out to me the most.
The Giants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong. It's like you were up 31-0 in the first
They-
first half.
Like they almost came back and won the game.
And they almost
like,
came back.
If they
Seattle
had
almost came
got
back
that
and won
onside
the
kick,
game. And it's like I can't help but imagine it's like if Seattle came out and played like you always play like the what if game with games like this, and it's like if Seattle would have came out and played like that to begin the game.
They were talking about. Did you hear about talking about the flight thing? Like they didn't understand why Seattle didn't travel to Carolina like the night before or the day before. Instead, they decided to travel the day of.
I thought
and they said that it might have something to do with them why they got like felt so groggy. Or no. Why didn't like they were already on that like the east side of the coast of it? Why didn't they just play and like practice in one of those facilities over there instead of flying all the way back to Seattle and then flying
That's what
back
they did?
Yeah, and then they flew back to Seattle and practiced, and then they flew back to Carolina to play the game. Like, why didn't you like play it like practice at UNC? Like practice somewhere over there where you don't have to travel and just get a hotel. Like so that way you don't have to feel like it's groggy and like all the flying back and forth.
And it's like I don't know what to say about Seattle. I mean, I don't know. It's like
Let's not talk about Seattle. Let's stick with Arizona and Carolina.
I mean, like that game.
On paper, Arizona has the best team in the NFL right now. They have the offense and the defense to match. Like they have weapons all over.
Like the only thing that changes that is the record between the two teams. With Carolina going what they went 15-1.
Yeah,
And Arizona went 14-2.
No, they lost it like
13-3.
Yeah.
Okay, so like on paper, Arizona has a better. I want to say offensively.
They're as good. They're as good as defensively as.
Yeah, but especially on the offense and on paper, Arizona has a better
everything.
Yeah,
besides maybe quarterback. I think it's close though.
It's close at quarterback, but it's like, and that's crazy because it's like Carson Palmer to be, how old? Like his age.
36.
Okay, and it's just like
there's 3 players who were taken number 1 overall playing tomorrow, and Tom Brady was taken in the 6th round.
Ain't that crazy?
That is a little crazy, yeah.
Like that is insane. It's like all the teams that passed on Brady, especially the Bears, kick your ass, kick yourself in the nuts, like if it's possible. But it's like
we were happy with Sexy Rexy.
Like on paper, it's like especially the receiving core. Arizona's receiving core just
incredible.
Kills Carolina.
Gerald, Michael Floyd, John Brown, the other Brown.
It's like John Brown, the other Brown. Whoever they have, like they got Gresham at tight end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Carolina, you got Ted Ginn who drops touchdowns, and you got
don't even get me started.
Philly Brown.
Don't even get me started on Ted Ginn. And you got
Devin Funches.
Greg Olsen. But it's like, can you like?
Greg Olsen's a little injured.
And it's like, and once again, like the what if? Like imagine if Cam had his number 1 pick
Benjamin
and Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah.
Like imagine, just imagine.
Well,
like you went 15-1.
I don't think Ted Ginn would be having as good a season. Like he should be a Pro Bowler, man. He played incredible this season.
Like you went 15-1 and with arguably the worst receiving core
ever.
Like
that's maybe that receiving core that Jay Cutler was using against the Lions. No Alshon Jeffrey, no Marquise Wilson, no Kevin White. Our best receiver, Mark Mariani, was
no Eddie Royal, nothing. You had nothing. No Martellus Bennett, you had nothing. But it's like
no Zach Miller.
You had nothing. But it's like this game. I've been back and forth on my pick between this game because it's such a toss up and because the game can be played in various ways. Like if we want a shootout,
the weather is supposed to be kind of crappy, and it's supposed to be like snowing and stuff.
Yeah, and it's like.
So who do you think that helps? Carolina?
I don't think it helps either one because we've never seen Carolina play
in the snow
in terrible conditions.
Yeah,
and the same thing.
Cam Newton's never really played in it either. I mean,
exactly.
He plays in Auburn, he
Carolina. Started playing when he started playing football, like college ball. He started off in Texas, then he transferred to. So
you think it would benefit Carson Palmer because he played in Cincinnati for a couple seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like over the years, I feel like it would benefit Carson Palmer for that exact reason. Like he played in Cincinnati. He's played in places where
it's cold all the time.
It's cold. It's snowy. Terrible conditions are
mm-hmm.
those conference those division games against Pittsburgh when it's
mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh and Baltimore and
and if they played in the AFC too, where there are a lot of teams that are playing in the cold weather.
Exactly.
The Jets and New England.
So he's more accustomed to it than
Carolina, who plays Atlanta, New Orleans, and Tampa Bay, all in the same, who are all sunny, all in a dome.
And it's 2 teams in the dome, and you got 2 teams that outside where it's
nice all the time,
exactly.
or pretty nice.
Well, their cold day is 45 degrees, and we're like in Chicago. We're like, what? Let me break
Kill
out
for
my
45.
let me break out my hoodie, bro.
I'm gonna wear my shorts. Wearing
Right?
shorts at 45 degree
And
weather.
it's like, for that reason, I give a slight, and I mean a very slight, edge to Arizona. But
Who are you taking?
I don't know.
I'm taking Arizona. I think Arizona's the best team in the NFL, but I do not think they're gonna win the Super Bowl. Yeah.
I kind of feel like the winner of this one,
Wins the Super Bowl?
maybe.
Really?
Maybe.
I think Arizona's the most complete team in the NFL right now.
Like let's look at it, because like I'm going.
We can talk about it next week. We can look at ahead to next week. But
I'm sort of doing it like if it's Tom Brady Arizona, then I really don't know. If it's Tom Brady going versus Cam, I might give that edge to Tom Brady.
just because of experience and having to deal with like all that scenario.
Like everyone on New England has been there.
Yep.
Like if I go Tom Brady Arizona, like Arizona has been to the championship. Like Arizona has players.
Yeah, but a lot of those players are gone. The only one I think is left is like Fitzgerald. Maybe.
I mean, like Dwight Freeney has Super Bowl experience.
Okay, those two.
And I can't really think of nobody else right now. So
Yeah,
I mean, like this one.
Greg Olsen played in the Super Bowl too when he was a Bear.
Okay, so
sure.
one, and Peanut Tillman, but
Peanut
Peanut Tillman's hurt.
injured.
So, Arizona, Carolina.
I'm taking Arizona.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Arizona.
I love the Cardinals. I think their team is incredible. I think they're built to win a Super Bowl.
But I would not be upset if Carolina won.
I wouldn't be either. I think the Cam Newton story has been incredible.
Yeah. Like, for someone who was been marked as immature, whose maturity has been questioned since he's came, and like look at him now.
Man, he's had like a renaissance season almost.
Yes.
Like he's been incredible this season.
Well deserved MVP.
Absolutely. Well, that's the triangle, guys. We'll be back next week. We're going to talk about when the reserves get announced, and then we're going to talk about this how these games play out.
And more topics to come.
Absolutely. You guys have a good week and take care of yourselves. Peace out.